Hello and welcome to World in 5. President Mnangagwa has reassured the Zimbabwe prisons and correctional services of continued government support to enable organizations to fulfill its constitutional mandate. Speaking at a cross-out parade of more than 1,600 correctional officers at Ndabazinduna Training School, President said the institution must embrace technology for efficiency.
The appropriate use of technology in the correctional domain can significantly enhance security efficiency, management and rehabilitation assets. In this regard, as correctional officers, there is need to adopt new technologies and the smart prison concept in the discharge of your new duties. Additionally, modern data analysis techniques should be leveraged in assessing the behaviors of inmates and risk levels.
Still on Cyclone Chido, disaster response mechanisms are now in place across Manicaland amidst threats to life and potential destruction to property. Manicaland Province Department of Civil Protection conducted the last reality check meeting on its state of preparedness.
And we've come to realize that we are prepared to a certain extent. Our major challenge as a province right now, we want to appeal for fuel, we want to appeal for non-food items and the other food items. All our evacuation centers as a province are ready. We've got challenges with some of them, and our district coordinators are working to make sure that those evacuation centers, the escape routes and everything, the gaps that are there on the ground are worked on. Today by 3 o'clock, our provincial report should be reaching Harare so that we sensitize the center on the gaps on what we are doing. And we are getting constant reports from our Department of Meteorological Services, and our command center is going to open tomorrow morning. It's going to be manned by our security sectors 24/7 until we decamp.
Meanwhile, police in Manicaland have warned artisanal miners as well as companies operating in the rich Panalonga and Chimanimani areas to stop their operations as they are at risk of being trapped in collapsing mine shafts. The ZRP gave the warning during the provincial meeting for stakeholders on Cyclone Chido. Earlier on, we spoke to Ray Bande to get a summary and picture of the situation in Manicaland.
Most parts of Manicaland province are expected to receive heavy rains punctuated by thunderstorm and violent winds starting tonight. This is after the landfall of tropical cyclone Chido in northern Mozambique, Pemba area in the Cabo Delgado province. And it is expected to start raining in most parts of Manicaland tonight, going into the next day tomorrow. And as the week progresses, similar weather conditions are also expected to persist. In his presentation during the Manicaland Civil Protection Unit meeting, Meteorological Services Department Officer Focal Point Person in Manicaland, Mr. Tapiwa Maringo, said most parts of the province will receive rain starting from tomorrow. Mr. Maringo expressed the hope that the intensity of Cyclone Chido will be reduced by the time it reaches parts of the country, especially here in Manicaland, given the distance from where it made the landfall and the terrain between the areas. As we speak, most parts of Manicaland province are cloudy today, and not much rain has been received since the start of the summer season, except some parts of Makoni district where some plants were reportedly destroyed because of some heavy rains and harsh weather conditions that were experienced during the weekend.
President Mnangagwa has challenged Zimbabweans to be proud of their identity, regardless of their beliefs. He was speaking in Bulawayo over the weekend, where he commissioned the Harvest House International Conference Center in Selborne-Brook. The president said while being proud of the country's heritage, each one has a role to play in developing the nation.
I therefore challenge the Harvest House, therefore, to remain the light of the world and the salt of the earth, shining conformity to worldly trends. My fellow congregants, in advancing the gospel, I urge us to remain proud of our identity and heritage as Zimbabweans and Africans. We must individually and collectively play our part towards socio-economic development, the modernization and industrialization of our motherland, Zimbabwe, and the great continent of Africa. This can only be done by ourselves.
14 people have died in a crash between a minibus taxi and an SUV in South Africa's Eastern Cape. A Mazda CX-5 with 6 occupants and a fully loaded minibus taxi from the Western Cape heading to the Eastern Cape collided head-on. All 6 occupants of the SUV died on scene, as well as the 8 passengers from the minibus taxi. It is unclear how many people were injured. The Eastern Cape Transport Department said that the scene remains active as emergency rescue personnel continue to work hard to save as many lives as possible. That's it for World in 5. Good day.